You know, there was a time when drug companies couldn't advertise on TV, but now you see ads for medication companies all the time. Well, Rodney and I go back and talk about our Air Force experience with pharmaceutical reps and the uniqueness of the Air Force logistics systems. And have you ever heard of a office called the Office of Special Investigations? Well, that's the Air Force's equivalent of, I guess, the FBI. And we also talk about some of their undercover operations that we witnessed. Well, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School.
And they've done that for you. I remember when it was at Wilford Hall, the guy just come in there with them meat and cheese trays and donuts and all that kind of stuff. They had their suits on. Yeah, there's a pharmacy rep. They stood out like a sore thumb, you know.
Yeah. And then get up there and them damn young doctors in there, get them all on the payroll, if you will. And, because I know down there where we were, ordering all that stuff. Well, doctors are describing this, and, it was always them young ones. They're prescribing this. Somebody had to introduce them to the I forget what it was, the team that determined what was on the formulary. And these doctors all going solo because one of them pharmaceutical reps and got a hold of him, and he trying to prescribe it. We don't even carry that, So yeah, it was an ongoing problem. Because I know when I got here and took over this account, I had to. They were letting pharmaceutical reps come into our offices, to our admin offices there, and let them go. They were going through our books, going through our transaction register to see what was selling.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. When I first came in, because I was noticing, I said, why are the document registers and transaction registers sitting out in the open area? But I didn't say nothing because, whenever I went in somewhere, I was always looking to see what was going on, so I know exactly what I'm going to change.
Right.
And start looking at. But yeah, they were coming in there. They pull that document register up and fold to the next place and look and see what was selling. So after I did my little 2-week surveillance, I rolled them right into my office. You ain't gonna be coming. They come in looking for it. Oh, you have to see Sergeant Turner over there. Like, yeah, those days are over with. You ain't looking at nothing in here. If that's the case, I need to open the books for everybody that comes through that door, and that ain't happening. But that's how they was trying to be competitive and trying to do that. I told you about the one little female boy. She was fine as hell too. I can't take nothing away from her. And so she came in, and I had to move my gym bag out of the chair. It had my racquetball racket sticking out, so I moved it so she could sit down. She wanted to talk. She goes, "Oh, you play racquetball?" I said, "Oh yeah, I play racquetball." She goes, "Oh, I'm the female racquetball champion of the state of Oklahoma," or some title she had. I said, "Oh, really?" She said, "We should get together and play sometime." I said, I'm already thinking that wouldn't be appropriate.
Right, right.
Business related and Rosalind Turner related. I don't know if that'll be. I don't know if that'll be appropriate. And so I said, "Yeah, maybe we could do that sometimes." So I was sitting there, and she was asking about her stuff. I said, "Well, I can give you some numbers. I ain't got no problem with that, but you cannot look through here." So I was looking at that. So she got up. She took it up on herself. She got up and walked behind me and put her breast on my shoulder and said, "I'll do anything for a sale." I was like, "Excuse me, you need to go back over there." I said, "I can't help it." Because the first thing that came to my mind was OSI, because we had a few of those go down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But people show up, and I'm like, "Nah, you ain't finna ruin my career over. You look good though, but no, not that."
and if you call me on a weekday, who knows what might happen? I'm staying strong today.
Yeah, but I'm like, "Oh no, little sister, that ain't going down." But yeah, man, they were competitive about it, man. I had a couple of my people in there, man, they set them up with a dinner down at in Bricktown here.
Mm-hmm.
And had them all come down. Sergeant Turner, you going to the dinner? I'm like, what dinner? Oh, well, such and such, they organized a dinner down there. Huh? So I went just to see who all was there. I said right then, don't ever let this happen again. Do not ever. Then I finally had to stop the reps from even talking to the personnel behind the counter back over there. You are not allowed past this point. Because you had a little airman back there. Oh, y'all going to pay for a free dinner? One of the girls, it was her birthday. That's what they was doing. Trying to get favor, man. It's something else. I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen again.
Yeah, it's a real competitive business, and that's what I remember back in those days when I worked, dental supply and stuff, and the doctors, especially as you say, as the young ones started to come up and stuff, they didn't want that stuff that was coming from the depot, that
Right.
generic with them generic labels on that kind of stuff.
Yep.
They wanted the name brand stuff,
Right.
Of course, you working there with, colonels and stuff, they'd go tell the dental commander, well, we got to have this. This is so much better than that stuff that comes from the depot. That stuff, here I go. They come up to me and say, well, Sergeant Gwen, we need to go get this for them. That's when I used to come over there to supply. That's when I was at Randolph and get those local purchase orders to go downtown and buy stuff, because, you had to, if you waited long enough years, it might have it at the depot at that point. Of course, they didn't want to wait years. They wanted it now. So I'd go over there to supply. I said, commanders approved it and they want this specific name brand thing. Of course, like you say, I got to go downtown and buy it. I'd go down. There was a dental supply place down San Antonio, right down close to what was that place called down? Was it Gypso or something? There's downtown, that big contracting place downtown in San Antonio. I can't remember. They had some kind of acronym, but this dental place was really close to them. So I'd go down there. I'd go down there and get the paperwork to go over to buy it from the dental supply place. But they used to piss me off when they'd come in there. Well, we want, Mickey Gwynn brand and Mickey Gwynn brand only. Right. And I'm like, okay, I'm a staff sergeant, you're a colonel. What am I going to say? So I go down there to tell the commander, sir, you approve it, I'll go get it. Most of the time he would approve it, They didn't want that stuff coming from the depot. They wanted that new stuff.
Yeah, that's the way it all. We've always said down there, we were fighting whatever new flavor of the month that comes out on TV. Here comes some local purchase requests for it. And at a point, we'd be going downtown. We had to devise a little team, not devise, but created a little team of 4 people just to make trips downtown because, that big research hospital. And then you had every one of them colonels down there trying to see who the biggest and the baddest was. And then, if we had a weak colonel, hell, he was just going to say, oh, okay. So I'm like, well, what's the point of even maintaining the depot supply stuff? Because that shit is made by the same people. It's just got a different label on it. Yeah. It's made by the same people. Plus, that's a waste of money. We buying, got it on shelf, and then it's going to expire because they want to go and get the local flavor of the month. That's even like when we got the credit cards. Come down there and tell, well, y'all need to take the credit card. You don't come down here and tell nobody how to go get it. You just put in what you want when you need it. We'll determine if we buy it on a credit card. They just thought because you had a credit card, you can just go buy it.
Go buy anything.
Yeah. Hell, you still had the same regulations to go. So yeah, it got to be pretty nasty because I just tell them, look, do I come down there and tell you how to do your IVs? Don't come in here trying to tell me. You tell me what you need and when you need it.
Yeah. But see, like I say, especially some of them old heads have been around for a while. Yeah. They knew the system. Well, Sergeant Gwen, we can't get that. It's a work stoppage. I'm like, when has a dental problem become a work stoppage? We can't get that. It's a work stoppage. Here they go. Yeah. Going down to the colonel. Yeah, we can't get it. It's a work stoppage. This other stuff don't work. Because, we were in an old building and sometimes in the summer, like a day like today when it's hot, they had them cycles and the air wouldn't turn on to a certain day, So it would be hot and this stuff is setting up. It's so hot. This new stuff, it's not temperature sensitive. It won't do that. So we got to get the new stuff. So I will admit they would use that kind of stuff to their advantage too.
Man. Oh yeah. Anything that they thought that would get them the result, they would say it. We used to laugh and say, it's a work stoppage, huh? So you still got electricity, right? You have your ass in there doing it. Shit.
Oh boy, yeah, I remember them days. I don't know why that popped in my mind. Yeah, it's a work stoppage if we can't get there. Yeah, right. When does a dental issue become a work stoppage?
Man, I'll
They
tell
play
you.
that stuff up big time, man.
Big time. Big time. And everybody had their own work stoppage too, boy, because it was always something. Well, we
Oh
can't
yeah.
do this. If we can't do that, and I'm like, boy, I tell you what.
Yeah.
So I
And
don't.
being in the medical field, we worked around some of the biggest egos you ever want to see. I
Oh
mean, it
man,
wasn't much bigger egos than we had in the medical field anyway.
that's right. That's what I tell people all the time. I say I've worked with some of the biggest prima donnas that you ever want to see.
Oh sure. Oh yeah.
I said from just a regular officer who ain't got sense enough to know that he ain't just a man. I said, but then you put doctor by his name, and then you got pilots. All of them think that they hung the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, now I retire, I go out here and I'm working for doctors and lawyers. They think they hung the moon.
Yeah.
So because the little secretary used to always wonder, Rodney, I can't believe you said that to him. Man, the hell with them. I've been around them kind of assholes my whole life.
Yeah, that's what I say. We worked around some of them, and the thing that made it so bad, like in logistics and stuff, you might have had maybe a lieutenant colonel at the most as a squadron commander or something. So you had
Yeah,
majors
yeah.
and people like that, and like I say, they coming down there, these colonels and lieutenant colonels and these specialists in their fields and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that made it tough too.
Yeah, it
Because
did.
you didn't have equal footing rank wise anyway.
That's right. And you trying to get your next promotion, so you ain't gonna buck the system,
That's right.
you know.
That's right.
And what I started, because I know this last woman I worked for, I hate to keep talking about her, but God rest her soul, I guess. But she learned quick from me. She's trying to get me to do something one day, and I said, all right. I said, I don't agree with that. I said, professionally, that's not right. There's nothing to say that it's totally illegal, but it don't pass the smell test. She said, oh, well, I think I want it done. Well, okay. So I got everything prepared. I went in her office. I said, oh, you need to sign right here and right there and right there. And she goes, oh, she said, anything else that comes through here, you don't never ask me to sign. I said, yeah, but this one I'm going to. He said, oh, is that one of what you call one of your cover your ass moves? I said, you better believe it.
Exactly right.
You're damn right it is. You don't think you're going to come in here and buck the system, but you're going to walk away.
Yeah.
So when the shit hit the fan, you can moonwalk away. Well,
That's
he
right.
should know better than that.
Yeah, look whose signature is on there. That's
Exactly.
Mr. Turner's signature on there.
There you go. I was like, no, you going to sign right here. It ain't happening, because I ain't signing. I ain't even signing it under duress. Let people say, well, if just sign it under duress, under protest. I'm like, I ain't signing, period. You want this done, here you go. And but yeah, man, Uncle Sam sure taught me how to take care of myself.
Yeah, I tell you, man, it makes a big difference, because you've seen people who've fallen because of stuff that they did because of the pressure from the top, and the people at the top just look at them and laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was same way too. That's why, like I say, whenever they come to me about stuff like that, I ain't gonna get in no toe to toe with no colonel. Go down and talk to the commander. If he say you can have it, I'll go get it. I said, but I said, no, I ain't gonna make that kind of decision. I ain't gonna be saying we can't do this and can't do that.
That's right.
You go talk to the boss. If he says you can have whatever little toy you want to have, I'll go get it. That way he signed off on it.
That's
so
right.
Yeah, it taught us a lot of good things, man. And I think I see that more and more as I work with some of the groups that I work with now. And I ain't gonna call no names, but
no, I got you.
What I was telling you about when you called me,
yeah,
I see that more and more as I be working with people, and I'm thinking, not only the military aspect, but the Air Force, to me, military aspect of things has benefited me in a lot of ways. I'm like, you don't know that? I mean, that's just some of the common rules of management or whatever. But it's like, no, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have benefited from the many years of following the rules and the training and everything we got. Because sometimes I'd be thinking, damn, what rock have you been living under all these years?
Man, these folks, I know, like when I got out here and I was over there, and I was at the courts where I was doing the purchasing and stuff, and these folks were sending me coupons. I'm like, what do you think this is? This is a government organization. Well, I'd like to get these over there because we can get $5 off with these coupons. I'm like, not only are you dumb, but you don't need this. This ain't your personal account. This is the people's money. And that's when I started getting that feeling. Who is this Rodney Turner? Who is he? I had one woman ask me to get some pens. I said, well, we got a government contract for pens. No, we don't want that. We want some Supreme Courtish. I said, well, so what is a Supreme Court pen? Describe that to me. Like you better pick one of these on this government contract and be happy. Take your coupon and get that other one.
Yeah, because there was a time back in the day where you didn't have no choice. It was like,
Right.
no, you take that skill craft that's in that box in that black. That's all you're gonna get. Oh, we do have an option. You can get the one with the chain on it if you want. But it's still a skill craft,
yes, sir.
But you can get the one with a chain if you want that to put on, glue down to a desk. Yeah. But that's all you get. That's your choice. Well, yeah, you might get black or blue, ink. But
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, but
that's how it's evolved. Now these people think, but I even saw the attitude once I got out here in the real world, man. They honestly think that a government agency, they think it's their personal business. They the way they act like they can pick and choose which things they want to buy. Now that's already been decided for you. On this government contract. Then if you need something other than that's got proprietary value or it's got some other kind of uniqueness that you need, you got to justify that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just order it because, well, I'm the blah 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 blah. Well, okay, sign right here. I'm the blah blah blah.
And I think some of that comes from the fact that, like you say, it's the people's money. It's not their money.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same decision that they would make if they had to come out of their own personal funds.
There you go.
They don't see that. They see that, well, that's a government money. They ain't gonna miss $200 or $300 for some Supreme Courtish pens.
Yeah.
They'll never know that kind of thing. So I think a lot of it is just that it is somebody else's money. It ain't their money.
Well, and the sad part about it is, if you're dumb enough to know that you are not the government, because that's who funds the government,
right?
Then something's wrong with you anyway. who got you in that position? I'm like, boy, this is something else. I used to just shake my head. I'm like, damn. And you know how we go through them changes until you get in the upper management level. You youngster, think I'll never come back in this military. They don't do. Then the more you learn, the more you understand exactly why and how they do things. The system is there. It's just that there's people there that manipulate it. And I see why things run at a deficit. Rules are there. There's nobody's following.
Oh yeah. Well, that's always the case. That's why you always have to have, waivers for this and things for that, because they don't want to follow the rules, and it's always seemed like it's that way when it comes to things like that, because once again, people don't, as you say, even though it is coming out of their pocket, actually, they don't see that part of it,
Right.
So yeah, it is. And then you got some, some corrupt people anyway that's going to be going and doing things for their own good. We was talking about that the other day, about that incident here with the VA, that guy that was, was working with a vendor, and matter of fact, he ended up killing himself. He was having an affair with a woman that worked with him in supply, and he was working with a vendor. But I tell people sometimes, you do dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was buying back in that day when they used to put that tape over, like, urine tests and that kind of stuff to show that the seal hadn't been broken stuff.
Yeah.
He was, you go from buying, 20 rolls a year to 25,000 rolls a year. There's going to be a red light somewhere. Somebody's going to say, what's going on? And he got greedy. And of course, they started investigating. They found out what he was doing, taking kickbacks from the vendor and having an affair with this woman. Matter of fact, he lives did about 10 miles from where I live now, man. They indicted him and everything. Went and put a gun to his head and blew his brains out. I said, well, was it really worth all that?
I'm telling you.
Was it really worth all that?
Now she's sleeping with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said, I just don't quite understand. I said, it's wrong to start with. I said, but maybe instead of ordering them 25,000 roll, maybe order 1,000 here and there. Don't raise an obvious red flag, but you get greedy.
Oh yeah, and blinded. I mean, it's just like the dope heads out here. Why are you gonna come up? You've been driving a damn Pinto, and all of a sudden here you come up with a Lamborghini now.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody sees you go to work. Now,
right.
what you talking about raising a red flag? I mean, damn, at least step up to a nice car.
Right.
Ain't that drastic of a turn, but you're going to go all the way to Lamborghini and shit. I was like, man, these fools are something else.
Yeah. Like I say, they deserve to get caught. I mean, they just so stupid. They deserve to get caught.
You better know it. Man, I'm like, we used to have a saying, I can't remember what to tell, but it was like there's a cutoff point that you could be bribed. It was a little inside joke with logistics technicians. What's your point? It'd have to be at least a couple million, and all that. And, Rodney, what's your point? I said, they ain't got one yet. Because I know I'm going to get caught. And number one, my deterrent is that little 4x8, whatever cell they got. Like, hell, I ain't trying to go to nobody's jail for nothing.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I was the same way. I mean, and like I say, like you were, I was in a position to do some of that stuff, working in logistics and things like that. It just never crossed my mind. It just something never. I knew it was going on, and I knew it was part of the process and thing, but it just never caught my mind. Like I'm saying, like you, I wasn't going to jail.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not, and I done seen so many tactics that they've used to try to catch people throughout my career. I done seen at least 2 occasions where OSI sent undercover people in. Because when stuff happens, and this is what gets me about, especially people who are at the lower level don't understand. You think it's so easy that you can get away with it. You're being watched. That's why they got management reports, they got usage reports, they got all kinds of stuff, let alone the human people that are looking at stuff. But I know we had at Wilford Hall one time, all of a sudden we get this guy in. People are projected in. Something is up when somebody just show up at the door.
Right.
And he showed up at the door. You could tell from the 5-minute conversation we had with it, he ain't know about logistics. Not one damn thing. But hell, we got 5 minutes with him, but he went to the colonel's office. Next thing you know, like, how they putting him in charge of the vault? He got all these narcotics and they didn't even consult us. So we would be the ones in the warehouse to decide who's going to work in there. But Colonel put him in charge of the vault. And come to find out later on, they could never pin it on him. But we had these 2 little young brothers. I can't remember if you remember them or not. Hell, I can't even think of it. One of them went on to retire up there in Fort Worth. But it was a couple of them in there. That shit started missing, man. They were selling them pills out. We didn't know nothing about it. We didn't even know the stuff was missing because the vault custodian coordinates all of the inventories.
Right.
And but evidently some stuff had come up missing. So that dude showed up on the doorstep, and the reason that was the unusual part. But I was over at remember our main office used to be 3450.
Yeah.
I was standing on that dock one day, and that's when I called myself smoking. We standing out there smoking a cigarette, and we saw this. I don't know where these dudes come up with them plain ass marked cars that they had. Everybody know who it is, that little curve you used to turn in.
Mm-hmm.
It ran right down into the emergency room.
Right.
The car came right up there, pulled up, stopped, opened the door. He come running out of there and jumped in the car, and the sucker took off. I said, "Oh, look at here, look at here." Look at here. All the suspicions have been brought to light. So, yeah, man, we had the same thing done. The little young airman, the little attractive girl. She come in there. She flirting with everybody and all that. And she, I guess she couldn't get nothing on none of it was all the top people that she was after, you know. She was a flirty little thing. Wasn't nothing happening there, so they sent her up to headquarters up there at Right Pat. She got up there and she walked up to the wrong brother. Her brother started hitting that. She got pregnant. he lost his career. Had a wife and a couple of kids. And like, and guess what her name was? I shouldn't say it out here, only going all public. But anyway, her last name was Dick. Like, boy, we was all after it came down from headquarters. Everybody like, oh man, that's when the Me Too stuff started. Yeah, man, she was flirty as hell. Yeah, that could have been you. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Because I know my first experience wasn't with this guy that was in the dorm. Matter of fact, he was next room over. He worked at the hospital. Everything seemed cool. Matter of fact, I borrowed his camera when Kathy got married to come home and take pictures of the wedding. I borrowed his camera. He had a nice SRL back in the day, and he let me borrow his camera and everything. And one day I was like, I was still in the dorm, got in from the job and everything, and everybody was running around. Yeah, man, you hear about so-and-so got busted? You hear about so-and-so got busted? I'm like, no, man, I ain't heard about that. Yeah, man, they got busted. They're on their way out and stuff. And I went and to the next door to talk to him and see what he knew was going on. Brother was gone. I said, okay. I said, now what about, I can't remember. I said, what about so-and-so? I said, like all this stuff, like he's gone. And the guy looked at me and said, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. He said, man, he was OSI. I said, you kidding me? All these folks got busted. He didn't. And these are people that he was running around with and stuff. He was OSI. I'm like, oh man, if there was ever anybody that to me just fit right in, melded right in, it would just, I'm like, I never would have thought it would have been him,
Yeah.
I never would have thought.
They do a good job of it, man, because I wasn't aware, I always thought, OSI was going to be like the straight, haircut, G-man looking person, And I walked in the office one day and I saw these two dudes down there looking scraggly looking, like what? I said, who the hell is that? What are they doing here? They was OSI, and, I don't know why. I never thought about it. We had so many problems to get here. I was busy doing everything. But, we supply, we ordered the contact lenses if they needed, the glasses if they needed out of our local purchase thing. And they were just sitting back there. I was like, who is that? I said, no, they're OSI, them the ones you see up in the club that be inconspicuous. I mean, 3510 was non-existent. Okay. Beards, just not anything you look to be associated with being in the military.
No. And I tell you, another one that happened when I was at Scott, this guy, young airman, good guy, played baseball. He was good. He went actually to spring training with the Cubs one year, but he hurt his knee, so he couldn't play. But just great guy. Came in one morning. He was sitting in the office. I'm like, what's going on, man? They had popped him for cocaine, And that's back when they was doing the hair samples. I didn't even know about that.
Right.
And they said, yeah, well, they did a hair sample and it came back positive. And I'm like, hair sample? Yeah, that's how you can tell. It gets in the follicles of your hair. So they had busted him and stuff. And they was getting ready to put him out and everything. And I was talking. I'm like, well, what happened? Had an OSI guy. Guess where he was at?
Where?
The barbershop. He was a barber in the barbershop.
I'll be dang.
This guy was going over to the barbershop to get his hair cut. They got to talking, and come to find out, the guy, the airman they threw out, had a history, but that was back in the civilian life. This wasn't in the military. And got to talking to the guy and set up a deal for his wife to come over and meet the guy at the at the Airmen's Club. And they came, met at the Airmen's Club, exchanged the dope and stuff, and they busted the wife. Of course, that took them right back to this guy, the husband and everything. And kind of like, yeah. And once again, I saw the guy at the barbershop. I had to go by the barbershop every now and then. And if I couldn't get in with my barber every now and then, I'd jump in there. And there's a black guy there that would hook me up too, you know. Went by there. Matter of fact, I made a point of going by there that day and looked in there. He was gone. I'm like, damn, yep. He was a barber. He was set up as a barber at the barbershop.
Yep. Well, you know, they busted our OIC and the superintendent here before I was here, but at that time I was just the NCOIC of stock records.
Right.
And after that, that's when they moved me up to superintendent. But anyway, it was back during the day when computers and stuff were first coming out. You know, government was getting them contract with computers. Well, they had set up in the hospital where there was a whole department that you had to go and justify, and they would place orders base wide, you know, to get computers.
Mm-hmm.
And we had old OIC. He was a damn used car salesman, man. He thought he could bullshit his way out of anything, and he took it upon himself to get him and the superintendent. If anybody needed computer, they would just go behind the back and they negotiate and get their own computers. For hospital personnel. You hear me? And I'm like, how the hell did you think you can get away with that? Anyway, long story short, come in one day, all these dudes standing around there with their suits on, and I'm like, who the hell is all this? It was OSI. They had set up a dummy company. And one of the brother was the rep for the company.
Mm-hmm.
They set up this dummy company and been ordering that shit through them. They got a delivery. They walked in with the delivery and got bored with them. But been me, hell, I'd probably be still in Leavenworth by right now. And I was like, damn. So, hell, I was the only one there for a while, you know. I'm like, no, don't come in here with nothing. Hey, I'm going to follow the rules, brother. That's what they said here when I got out of the military. I was in here, Rodney goes by the book. I'm like, you damn right.
That's right. As well I was too, because like I say, I saw that stuff going on, and to me, it just wasn't worth it.
No,
it
man.
wasn't worth it at all.
No, we're not going to jail for anybody. But when you deal with supplies and logistics, the temptations are always there. Well, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School. Join us next time. Until then, this is Mickey G. Peace.